like contract on arc, but I tend to like stuff that's not very good. I'm using contract on something that's gives more DPS, could be better. It feels like every board I was losing in the mid game there was just like getting completely blown up. In a way that's contract on something like Queen of Pain doesn't really solve. Currently placed first 3 games in a row with big time contract. Yeah, it's really one of the most powerful items in the game right now, especially with an early Ogre 3. I think we definitely should have gotten first or second that game if we played properly. I'm just not sure how to use this item. Back in the day, we played the most contract. It feels weirder to use now though. I take Embarrassment over Hood. Embarrassment around 1 I rate about the same as Hood. 2 or more contracts wins games. Yeah, sure, a second contract is a really big deal. Feels like keeping the axe option open is really important. Selling CM over Viper's Assault Ledge, yeah. I mean, at that point the Viper just has to go. Especially when it's not 3-starable. So axe is a little bit behind curve at 3. I think we should always keep up the Batrider. That's an interesting one. 2 ogres and a warlock is a good start. But I wouldn't mind practicing this a bit more. Barrett is gonna steal all of Axe's kills. I'm pretty much not in brawny. I mean, you always want to leave the option open in case something weird happens. Like you get like 2 Beastmasters on round 4. You always want to be open to ass pulls. Barrett is getting all of the rest of the kills. Blade Mail Axe actually got them. That's pretty funny. So it begins. Skew the Warlock only need ogres for big time contract. It's true. Oh, that's so crazy. I think the only right answer can be fall, because it leaves the options open for a lot of good stuff. It opens me to Brawnies and Knights. If I want to win early rounds, I shouldn't be linking Brawnies here, right? Okay, Conga line, let's go. So, let's look at the Brawny situation. It's a good start for Brawny with Blade Mail. Axe has 7 kills, which is pretty solid. He's not paired. I mean, if we don't nut out on Brawnies in the next like 3 rounds, we can't ever go this build. That's basically just how it works. It's not a bad start, except Ogre took literally every single one of the kills in that round, including the ones on Eidolons. No, Beastmaster got 1. Nice. I've basically stopped buying Tusk completely. This unit doesn't even lead to anything. Like, there's no comp that runs this. Throwing the game by attempting Brawnies, lol W. I think Brawnies are inconsistent. I think you basically have to know when to get out of them. It's good to open your options until like 7. It might just be too bad on this new MMR system. Like, if you look at the MMRs here, if I get anything less than... I mean, if I get 3rd place, I think I might be losing MMR in this lobby, right? What Lord ranking is 1500 right now? About 3.2k. Oh, really? Oh, damn. That high, huh? That's pretty crazy. I don't know. I mean, Bloodbound is good, but it feels like trying to use it in the mid game without contract is wrong. So it's just like, without contract, it's basically just like an early game way to win a few free boards. I mean, it's a good start for it so far, with the exception of the fact that we have one Beastmaster. I mean, we can just, like, win every board right now. Here's Timber Clock. We don't really have enough kills, so now we have to basically look at options that Fall opens up. Knights is not terrible. It's pretty open, and we have a level 2 bat. It also works with Fall. This looks like a Knights game through and through. Like, bat is the only Knight we have, but we have Fall. Nobody is even remotely on it. This guy has 2 bats benched. It's super open. Worst case scenario, we're sharing it with 1. Knights also work pretty well with Blade Mail, actually. Knights actually work really well with Blade Mail, right? Blade Mail is before the Knight reduction, right? Shouldn't it be? So Knights deal more damage with Blade Mail. It looks like I'm literally locked in for a Knights game. Actually, it looks like I have no choice. I don't think I can even go brownies here. The one thing is I might not find Knights for several rounds, which would, you know, blow. Not a good enough brawny start. 2 people on brawny. Knights are open. Fall is better for Knights than brownies. Blade Mail is good for both. I guess better for brownies, but still very good for Knights. Not enough kills on my early Beastmaster as well, so there's just no brownies this game. I don't mind doing like a Bloodbound into Knight transition. I'm right about that, right? So new Blade Mail works before all modifications to damage, right? So a Knight with Knight Shield will be dealing double its health in damage to the attacker. It's variable based on their own armor or own reductions. But, I mean, I think Blade Mail is actually kind of low-key with Knights, right? It seems like something people are underrating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can easily hit this interest point. I think that's always what we do. We want the Loa. Look at Hungster for Knights. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't mind 2 people being a Knights. I just don't want 3. Basically the reason that talking about like nobody being a Knights, just usually one person's gonna curve into it, but being nobody on Knights when you decide means that after one person curves, after you choose, you're gonna be 2 on Knights instead of 3, and that's really important. When you're the second to be on a build, there's a good chance a third person is gonna join you, and then you're just like, ugh, that's a little annoying. This is a really, really strong game to go Knights in. One, two, three. I really, 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 really want this interest point. I think I'll downgrade this Warlock. It makes my board a bit weaker right now. You often want to be sacrificing a level 1 Warlock, but in the early game, it does make your board a bit weaker. Which, when you're protecting a streak, is, you know, a no-no. But I think my board is strong enough that I can take this risk just fine. And it can really only be on my board for another few turns without a big-time contract. Honestly, maybe even that's underestimating it. Maybe it's nuts. Like in pairs for Heartless early as well, which is good. Does he smoke weed? Anyone knows? No, I don't smoke weed. So now this one's interesting. Suddenly I really want this other interest point. I just sell my entire bench, right? I think I have to, right? As much as the Lycan is adorable, Lycan 1 over like a tiny 2 just for Heartless But I'm probably going to get Heartless really soon. I'm sure it'll happen. We just have to be patient, guys. Has this game changed much since released? Oh, it's changed quite a bit. I like the state that the game's in right now. The big patch like 2 weeks ago was really, really good in my opinion. This last patch, like yesterday, I don't know how I feel about it yet. It seems like it might create a more imbalanced meta, honestly. It's fine though. Easiest sell to 40 of my life. Yeah, I think it has to be. If this was not a tiny, yeah. Do I have to choose Aegis here? I think Aegis might be the best out of these items. Ugh. I mean, Aegis when we're winning is also bad, but I mean these items are just useless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, that assumes we win and that we're not gonna need the Viper later. There's a decent chance we do want this Viper later, though. I don't know, it feels weird building Viper 3-star in Knights. I might lose to this board. I don't know. If there was basically anything else there, this is just not. It's not a great game for Aegis since we're doing well. We're like win streaking early. It's not useless. I really don't like Brooch of the Aggressor very much at all. Could have been that over Aegis. Winning Brooch is good on Necrophos. I like Brooch of the Martyr better on Necrophos. This is fine. We could have just put in a 2-star Ogre instead of like the 1-star Batrider. Dude, Ogre is such a crazy good unit now. I still haven't adjusted to like the instant bloodlust at the start of fight on top of everything else that got better about this unit. It's just good. Like having him fat kitted on my bench just makes no sense right now. He could have stayed for a round or two. Probably not much longer than that, but easily for a round or two. Aggressor is better on Necro because the nice you don't have the space to frontline. I don't know. I still like frontlining Necro. Something like this is okay. It feels weird not actually having knights right now. I have 3 knights. Usually knights are something that is like fairly forcible. Like I'm not really being blocked. Like my odds for finding knights are good, we're just not finding them. I mean, if I find the Shadow Fiend upgrade, I think I have to take it. I mean, right now our CK 3-star is just basically not happening, which means this could just be like a 4 Knights game. No Luna, no CK looks like 4 Knight, 4 Lock with Shadow Fiend. Yep, that's exactly right. Like, the fact that we don't have Luna or CK, it seems kind of irrelevant for late game, but basically what it means is the odds of us actually having the 3-star of them, just because we're so behind at this point, just becomes low. There's 1 CK, but it's not enough with 4 Shadow Fiends. Yeah. We're relatively alone on Shadow Fiend as well. We got a good like Witch Doctor start, 4 Witch Doctors. So yeah, 4 Knights, 4 Warlocks just looks good here. So Luna and CK are both the cuts as well with 4 Knight, 4 Warlock. Because you want Bat and Troll for the Troll. And you want Omni for turning into Undead. And of course Abaddon and DK are just kind of core. This dude on Knights must be so pissed to see you randomly chasing Knights. Fall Blade Mail? That's not randomly chasing Knights, dude. When you have Fall, it's like you're already a foot in the door on Knights. Just with this item. So suddenly, I think I do want to be on 4 knights. There's a few solutions to this. We can just take the tiny out already. I don't know. The tiny providing like a 2-star for my front line at this point in time is probably simply too important. Like, ideally the tiny would be sold soon, and I think we will sell it soon. I could take the high economy level up here and then just run both. I don't know, it feels so hard to 3-star Viper as well. I mean, we are the only person on Viper. We can easily... I mean, Viper is basically the same thing in this build as another build, right? I don't really like any of these options. I think Knights might kind of need a bit more DPS. I think I might normally take Helm there, though. Not having like a gloves also makes Relic just feel maybe a bit more important in addition to that. I'm okay being slightly weaker for one turn, whatever. Viper only fits at 9 with DK2? Yeah, of course. But, I mean, it's the same with 6 Knights and as well. Like, it's just 9 at DK2. But starting to build it now, that 3-star Viper is quite solid. Did this anti-mage just auto-won this guy this fight? 3-star. But it's only Drow, so it kind of doesn't count. This guy's having a bad brawny game. There's some world we're about to throw Lycan in for Heartless. That could possibly happen. Is Luna for 4 Knights? I think we slaughtered in for a bit. So that's 4 Knights. And now we're looking for like 1 Heartless, right? Is that better than this Batrider? I don't know if that's better than a second Batrider picking up Troll buff. I don't think anything's better than a second Batrider picking up Troll buff. As busted as Heartless is, it's a second Batrider picking up Troll buff. So I'm just like out of CK coin at this point. Wait, is this guy also going 4 Knights, or has he just not found the others yet? He's got Luna CK. Dude, he's got a mom already? Fuck me, dude. God. My wife's boyfriend is super jacked right now. Holy shit. Whatever, man. I don't think I'm going Luna at all, right? Early Batrider could make. We want to chase this like Slark Dream. Need Necro for sure. Really powerful completer for this build. We just absolutely demolished this 90 HP streaker. Pretty close to the Batrider upgrade. Batrider consolidates my board in a pretty sweet way here. It's a good upgrade as well. It's a good upgrade as well. Second Viper as well. Both Shadow Fiends on board. This looks good. I think this is a good example of why you sometimes really just want to curve into this build. So now we can kind of like shift to the side. Main tank Abaddon with Chainmail just feels really reliable. This looks good. And we have this Aegis too. It is true that Brooch of the Aggressor is decent on Necro. It's very, very true. I think I should have taken Brooch of the Aggressor over Aegis there. For sure. Aegis is like, I think a lot of people don't look at Aegis like this, but the item is like situational, right? A lot of people look at items as this weird situational thing, like, you know, Brooch is good on certain units and Chainmail is good in certain comps in certain games, but Aegis is, it's important to understand that Aegis is something that's, when you're looking at a strong game, it's definitely weaker to pick Aegis. And this is like a game which is anti-synergistic with Aegis, right? Like, it's not a game where I'm looking at high Aegis value. I could actually run Kunkka for a little bit for 4th Undead. I could totally see myself splashing that on the board when I hit 8. So I think buying it here is fine. I mean, 4th Undead is basically what I want when I hit 8. So one of the Shadow Fiends attacks Potato. The other one attacks whoever he wants. We just have to go to 8 first. Especially when we're not looking for like Luna CK. It's also more important to note, like the 4-Knight-4 Warlock variant is something that... Ooh. Ooh, oh shit. I can't go Mom here. Dude, am I going Maelstrom? Am I going another Blade Mail? That's a weird one. I think Blade Mail might have actually been low-key the better option there. As weird as that is. But Mail on the Batrider 3 is also pretty sweet. Necro positioning. The fuck? Mom for DK? Ew. Dude, Breathe Fire is fire. It's so good. I can't silence that. Like the fact that it reduces like auto attack damage on everything is kind of nuts. And Batrider is a good carrier for Maelstrom, I think. There's actually arguments against this. It's like I look at Batrider Maelstrom and I'm like, okay, it adds 80 damage per stack to all instances, right? And this applies to. I wonder, like, when you mathematically model Bat Maelstrom, I wonder how good it actually ends up being. Because, on one hand, Napalm buffs all Maelstrom ticks, which is super sweet. But on the other, his attack speed isn't super high, and he stops every other attack. With Troll buff, it's every other attack. So he gets 2 attacks and then pumps Napalm, and then 2 attacks and then pumps Napalm. But he does attack like less than a normal unit because of it. But when it triggers, it does like a good amount more damage. It's like Bat Mail has to be good. Is Bat Maelstrom better than Brooch Bat? Yeah, why would you put Brooch on Bat? Brooch the Aggressor? Ew. I mean, Maelstrom is the best item on Bat. It might be better than Radiance. Radiance on Bat is kind of funny in some situations. Obviously, Radiance is not really that much of a real item anymore, so you don't even really see it. We need 4 Warlocks pretty bad. Where's my Disruptor? What the hell are these units? There's my Disruptor. Oh, yeah, give me that. Oh, yeah. Fifth Abaddon and second Omni. That feels good. This is just a good game. Doubles the damage of Mail and eventually triples its worth. Yeah. And he is attacking more than half the amount of normal units' attacks. And his higher attack speed with Troll does kind of compensate the fact that he stops the cast. It is better on Batrider, for sure. But I'm curious how much better. Because there's a chance it's not like as much as it might seem. It is better, for sure. It's definitely better. Incoming no bench space because of Viper. Yeah. I mean, my Viper 3 prospects look kind of bad this game. This guy's on a good blocker. He's going for 3-star already. I mean, if we're rolling, we're basically just looking for Omni. I could do a couple rolls here. Omni could, in theory, help carry the streak. Now we're looking for another DK, but at the same time, now we're burning interest points if we roll further. I'm okay with that. Worst case scenario, I lose my streak here. These rolls were probably wrong. Like, the only thing I'm looking for is an Omni. I'm wasting rolls I could have had at 9 odds, which are better for like more Disruptors, more Necrophoses, more DKs, which matter. And also, it forces me to, when I go to 9 on 25, it's going to force me to eat into an interest point or two. Those was just a little inefficient taking a few rolls here. If you get a 9 here before having an Ab down or Omni 3, I'll slap you. Omni 3? Watch me. I'm just not close to stuff, dude. I'm on like 5 Abaddon, 6 Shadow Fiend. If I was actually at like 7 Abaddon, 7 Shadow Fiends. But, I mean, my roll value is increasing on like Necro and Disruptor at the same time. It's decreasing a bit on Witch Doctor, but nobody cares about Witch Doctor, right? You also burn interest over health, going to 9. I think going to 9 here is just too good. It's just a little bit of interest. There's a chance it could be influenced somewhat on the item I get here. You're looking at a lot of 4 stars too. Yeah, I mean, my 4-star odds go from 15 to what? I don't actually know what they are on 9. They go up though. Mech? Is Mech here actually better than Basher? Mech is pretty sweet on Knights. I don't know if it's better than Basher though. I got the other Shadow Fiend. If I didn't find that Shadow Fiend, I probably would have just went to 9. Here's this Viper just still being on my bench perpetually. Did we miss anything on those rolls? It was too slow and too risky. I was prepared to just sell my mother's heirlooms if we ran out of bench space. It was too slow though. I mean, once you're rolling, you're just like fully committed for it, right? Necro's attack speed is actually high enough to maintain Skull Basher, right? And it'll give him more DPS for more mana charges. Mana charges are sweet. I don't know if I even want to level Omni to 3 though. Are you really building towards an Omni 3? I mean, Omni 3 is fine. My general stance is that if I have to sell something to like not go to 3, Omni is the one I sell in a vacuum. But I don't think it's not worth building. I'm really not close to stuff here. Get your logic and stigma of not enough roll value. You never have any roll value because you don't roll in the first place to start building it. Well, it just depends how you calculate it. It just comes down at that point to having like a different threshold for when it's worth it to roll. Wow. That Assassinate just won him this fight. And Assassinate's a pretty good skill, huh? Yeah, we can just chill. You ever getting this Viper? Can only actually get in after the DK and after the level and after the Omni. Chasing this Viper just seems bad. The other guy holding Vipers did get knocked out. Whatever that means. This guy's got AM for a demon bonus. Man, demon hunters just mess up my DPS so hard. A lot of people on Scrappy. I mean, 9 on 31 increases my odds of finding a DK. Going to 9 before even completing it, though, is kind of awkward. What do I put in a second Abbot on 1? I mean, 31 is decent level timing. The only question is, do we level to 9 on 31 or 33? I think it also depends how many people are alive. Because there only being 4 people alive right now hurts my odds of actually finding what I'm looking for. That's a nuts find. So now Relic on Necro will help him charge his ulti, which is kind of nice. And I can just put Basher on DK or something, right? Goes from 15 to 20. I mean, it's a notable increase on the odds of finding it. Obviously, like, if you spend all the gold on manual rolls, you'll have more of a chance to find it. But it means you can get there with less gold spent. Now that we have it, the swap. This guy's out as well. So the Relic is nice. Plus damage will help Necro actually charge mana. Usually damage items don't charge mana, but they charge mana on level 1 units, but not on level 2 units, basically. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's usually how it ends up working. I really want my Disruptor to have a level here, but either way, this is fine. Dude, the sniper's assassinate, just when it takes out my Shadow Fiend, it just auto wins this guy a fight. So assassinate will target something that has a higher amount of HP, right? I think the only thing it reads is HP. So in theory, if I do put something on my board that has higher HP than my Shadow Fiends, i.e. basically like a 3-star Viper or some significant 3-star, it'll actually make it harder for him to assassinate me. When would we build a second DK? Feels like that would never happen, right? We can just econ for a few rounds, at least until this guy dies. We'll econ through 36 at the very least, and then just chill. We need an Abaddon 3, basically. Sandwich between these two 6 scrappy guys. I mean, this guy has to get knocked out first. It's a pretty solid upgrade. Put an Alk one over Disruptor one. I don't know if that's actually better. Disruptor just ends up being silenced in most of these fights, though. Shadow Fiend down again. Every single fight, Sniper's just assassinating him. I think we lose this fight regardless. So he just basically just allows us to greed a little bit here. It's worth a bit of gold. I mean, if Elk 2 stars, it's what I run, right? Otherwise, it's not. It's that simple. Which means we're never using another DK. We can't. One Abaddon. It's the Disruptor, so suddenly we're never using Alchemist again, right? Two Abaddon. Let's get disconnected. Doesn't it have to be dataless? Yo, is it Pipe? Pipe's actually nuts against him, right? Pipe seems good here. What are we on, Omni? Adds a Witch Doctor completing our 2 to play for. Yeah, but this is fine. It's a pretty good, like, final swap. He doesn't have, like, a Pudge, so he can't really punish my Shadow Fiend being in the corner here. We had a really big improvement there. Yeah, I really regret not taking Brute the Aggressor. That's fine, though. I think this game is the same. Been short on DK over SF. No demon bonus. I don't know, my friend. I think SF is a lot better. I mean, it's an SF3. mean, the blinks basically mean usually my disruptor gets attacked there anyway. It could have been a bad position swap there. I just want to make sure the ult goes off. And sometimes, like, assassins can be a little wonky. If Tinker blinks into the very corner, then sometimes we don't get that off, which is really bad when that happens. We're on, what, 2 Witch Doctors? Still has 50 gold, though. Yeah, I mean, he has plenty of time to improve his board. 2 Vipers, that's not happening. Kinda needs to happen. Didn't happen. Look at that. Not floating anything. I mean, switching Disruptor back is basically the only thing we can do, right? Yeah, dude, his entire board is 3-starred. Wait a second. This guy has 7 3-stars. Monka? Jesus. Oh well. Guess he got us. Just 3-star your board? Oh, we can get the troll though. Jesus. I think that's fine. I don't think we can actually take that guy's board at the end. Should have gotten more 3-stars. Yeah, that would have been neat. I don't know. I mean, we can roll a bit more before we level. There's no way that changes the final result, right? It just, like, potentially impacts a few turns. If we got Birch of the Aggressor instead of Aegis, it doesn't make a difference either, right? I think we just can't take that top board. There's no way. 75 MMR for that game? This is the bug, right? It's just like a visual display, unless they fix that. Why don't you just 3-star your board there? Forehead. I think that's a really good example of the kind of game where you need to go 4 knights